Oh wait, I'm hearing myself repeat it. Hello, how is everyone today? So we are back with Dark Knights. We are going to continue Junoru's route to be able to get the first bad ending, then the second, then eventually getting the normal ending, and last but not least, the romantic ending. So yeah, without further ado, let's just fish and go. I think my mic on Discord might be weird. Let me check. No, it's fine. Okay, weird. Okay, so we got one image out of everything last time, so yeah. We also got this one here. And this one. The first chapter is about a Kanji family. I have so fallen behind. Why are we even learning about local families anyway? I sighed, but nonetheless decided to keep reading. The community is resided in a mansion that was built in 1702. Their home was partially burned down 70 years later, but then reconstructed in 1840. A librarian passes by and glances at what I'm reading. Ah, the story of the Carnegie family. Do you know a lot about them? Well, I've heard more rumors than facts. For instance, they were murdered by their fellow villagers because they were supposedly plotting something evil. They say if you pass by the mansion at midnight, you can hear the ghosts of the Carnegie family screaming for help. I've heard so many versions of that story. I don't know what to believe. These stories were supposedly passed down from the villagers of that time period, but they very well could have changed over time. So who knows what's true? Besides, dead men tell no tales. Guess we'll never find out what really happened then. You know, there is one more rumor I heard, and it's pretty recent. They say one member of the Kanji family survived and seeking revenge on the village. Some think the demon the people are talking about is this family member. He's an occultist spreading that rumor though. There's no way corpses can come back to life. The librarian nods and lets out a sigh before walking away to continue her duties. Questions stuck up in my head as I stare at the history book. Wait a second. Could Junoru be the ghost? What a coincidence bumping into you here. Oops. I hear Junoru's voice behind me and look up, startled. I don't think I ever saw him on those clothes. What are you doing here? I came here to study and thought I saw someone familiar. In a rush, I closed the book and hoped it did not see what I was reading. Juno smiles gently and takes a seat beside me. I didn't recognize you in those clothes. It is what I wear when I do not go to school. Even in his free time, he dresses nicely. I did not mean to disturb your studying. Please pretend I'm not here. No, not at all. It's nice to have some company. Well, as long as you do not mind. I stared awkwardly at the textbook in front of me. Only a moment ago, I nearly concluded that Junoru was a ghost. What a silly thought. I peek at him from the corner of my eye. Junoru looks serious as he browses through his book. I am curious about what he's reading. When he glances back at me, I quickly turn away. I stared at him for too long. He must have noticed. Are you stuck? Feel free to ask me for help. Junoru puts his book down and gives me his full attention. I might as well be straightforward. Well, do you know about the legend surrounding the famous Carnegie family and their mansion? Yes, I have heard of them. Junoru's expression does not change. Uh, is your house haunted by them? Junoru laughs softly at my question. You believe in ghosts, do you? You believe in ghosts, do you? To answer your question, no. There are no ghosts in the mansion. Moreover, even if there were, we would not be able to see them. Junoru rests his arms on the table and looks at me with an amusing expression. I cannot help but blush and turn away. Great. Now he thinks I'm a scaredy cat. You have some interesting questions today, Miss Iviana. I'm in a good mood today. Is there anything else you'd like to know? Well, I quickly try to think of something. There is something that's been on my mind for a while, about your uniform. I'm sure that we go to the same school, but I never see you around. Juno rubs his chin as he considers his response. I only take the night classes. Wait, there are night classes? Yes, I find them more convenient for both personal and practical reasons. Although I wait, Junoru never seems to finish his thoughts. Junoru? Ah, my apologies. I'm simply unpopular with the rule of regular classes. Popular. There were a few incidents that made it hard for me to attend regular classes. Can I join you? I wonder what the night classes are like. I believe you need to wait for the break to end before inquiring. What is the difference between day and night lectures? Please tell me more about them. To be honest with you, Miss Iviana, I would not recommend them to you. Why not? Confused, I look at him. The night classes are much more advanced than the normal curriculum. I do not know if you'd be able to keep up with the lessons. Are you implying that I'm stupid? Oof. Isaac, how are you? My, of course not. How can I put this? The night classes is full of students of a different caliber. What do they have superpowers or something? Yes, they have. No, rather they are all there for a certain reason. Such as, perhaps we should leave these here for today. We have studying to do after all. What, Ju, you're so mean. I pout, but Junoru covers his eyes with his hand and turns away. Oh, he was trying to not get the puppy eyes. That trick will not work this time. This time! Oh. On second thought, allow me to think further about it. I almost jump up from excitement, but hold myself back since I'm in the library. What do you mean to... Please go dry yourself before you get sick, and Visual is going fine. This is the last guy before the DLC, so he still have a good amount to read. I'm looking forward to it. I have had a lot on my mind, but I do not believe it will be too difficult if you only join a single class. The two of us end up studying together until the library closes. Since we are heading in the same direction, Junoru and I walked home together. So, Junoru, what are your plans for the break? Nothing much. My life is no more exciting without school. What about you? Me too. My parents are still away on their trip, and my friends are going somewhere else. That must be quite lonely. Nope, I'm used to it. Your expression says otherwise, Miss Iviana. There is no shame in, admitting to loneliness. Admitting to loneliness. Junoru, stop. Tell me more about yourself instead of digging into my life. Well, I'm still busy cleaning up my brother's mess. He has been so reckless ever since our parents passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. It must be tough. I do not mind. He's my brother, and one should take care of his family. Don't forget to take care of yourself too. Don't let your brother tire you out. Yes, well, things would be easier if you listened. You know, I used to wish I had a sibling, but hearing you talk about your brother is seriously making me reconsider it. Uh, we'll have good times together too, of course. Before long, we find ourselves near the old mansion. However, we quickly notice someone standing in front of it on the street, staring straight at the structure. Oh, it's Shane again. Okay, I'm glad he took a shower. His heart is cold as ice. The odd man notices us as we approach him. Judging by his creepy gas mask and unusual clothing, he does not seem to be a local. The man's cold stare pierces through me as he peers in our direction. What's with this guy? Everything about him feels so off. I turn to Junoru, who is frozen beside me. He seems equally disturbed by the man's presence. Hey, you two. Is this house abandoned? His words sound more like a statement than a question. I expect Junoru to reply, but his lips remain sealed. I'm Shane. You're from this village? I reply with a nod. Shane stares at us and narrows his eyes. His gaze is that of a hunter stalking his prey. Sir, I doubt you have any business in a place such as this. Please refrain from participating in suspicious activities. You'll scare the neighborhood. Bruno calmly takes me by the wrist and begins walking. Let us leave, Diviana. Her hair grows tenser as we slip past Shane. When I peer back over my shoulder, the mysterious man watches us until we disappear past a bend. I cannot help but feel anxious. Nora, what are we going? Where are you going? Somewhere that men cannot follow us. You're not going home? I do not feel comfortable with someone like that hanging around my house. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't realize. Oh, and this is how we end up living with Junoru too. For sure. I suddenly realized that even with the glove on, Junoru's hands feel so cold. He must be quite disturbed. Junoru releases me as soon as he realizes how long he has been holding on to me, and looks away embarrassed. He's blushing. I am sorry for pulling you in with me. I did not. I did not intend to. Oh, don't worry about it. I want to get away from that guy as soon as possible too. Hmm. It is getting late. Shall I walk you home? I blush at the suggestion and wave my hands. No, it's okay. I'm fine on my own. Having a walk alone after running into someone like that would only make me worry. Well, since you insist, thank you. I smile at him. Although we have not known each other for very long, Junoru is often concerned about my safety. While I'm sure part of it is his gentlemanly personality. I believe he genuinely cares about me deep down. Mm, it feels nice to be around him. As we walk down the road, the sky starts to turn dark. Thank you for sitting with me today. Ah, it was my pleasure. I actually go to the library quite often. Sam, I like studying there. I could do it at home, but it's not the same. I don't have much planned for the break, so I'll probably end up in the library a lot. It's too bad my friends will be out of town. You know, you were right earlier. I guess I'm kind of lonely. Maybe that's why I keep going to the mansion. Uh, I hope I haven't been bothering you. On the contrary, I welcome your presence. I have not spoken with someone so much in a long time. I'm happy to have you around. They are both lonely. With my brother ignoring me, loneliness hunts me in a similar way. We finally reach my home. You live even closer than I expected. But don't tell me the real reason you wanted to walk me home was so you could see where I live. Who knows? I wonder. I suppose I will see you tomorrow then. And please, know that you are welcome to visit me anytime. Just so. Yes, you are welcome to visit me anytime. Just don't break the walls of my house anymore. Sure, see you tomorrow. Actually, wait. The rumors have been getting stranger by the week. As you already know, you should not believe everything you hear. Do you mean the demon thing? I mean in general. There are so many sides to each story, and the lines between reality and fiction will blur if you are not careful. Until you know the whole story, you should not come to a conclusion. Huh? I'm simply implying that you should not concern yourself with the things happening in this village. Treat all the rumors as lies. Just ensure you stay safe. So, is telling me to stop investigating things? If I dig any deeper, I might get myself into trouble. It is merely a gut feeling. I only want you to be safe. Thank you, Junoru. Junoru opens his mouth to say something but remains silent. I can see the hesitation in his eyes. Something is bothering him. Before I can ask about it, however, he turns to leave. I wave goodbye and step into my house. After I close the door, I let out a delighted sigh. I hope Joe will be okay with with that creeper chain stalking around his home. When my stomach rumbles, I realize I have not eaten since lunch. I head to the kitchen to make something simple. I'm so hungry that I feel like eating a 10-course meal, but I don't have the patience to prepare all of that. After I finish cooking, I take a seat in the living room. It is quite enough to be lonely as usual. Oh, damn it. Why didn't I invite Joe in for dinner? It would have been nice to talk a bit longer. Besides, he served me lunch once. It would have been nice to return the favor. All of a sudden, I hear strange noises from down the hall, as if someone is twisting a doorknob. A frosty chill runs down my spine as I process the sounds. I am alone here, and doors cannot open or close themselves. All of the windows are closed, so it cannot be the wind either. Oh my, has someone broken in? I put my plates down on the table and grab an umbrella, used as a weapon. That's. You know what? I want to do a fun art of this, which is just like the best weapon for a girl, an umbrella. Because that's our defense weapon every single time in this game. I slowly tiptoe down to the hallway and peek into the darkness. Although it is difficult to see, I do not wish to scare the intruder away by turning on the lights. I'll teach this creep not to mess with me. Footsteps begin to approach me as I close in on whoever has entered my home. I listen as they come closer and closer, with my umbrella tightly, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The time is finally right. I jump out and wildly swing my weapon around. Take this, you creepy stalker! Stop! Wait, what? It's only me. What the? I was expecting Roy, not his brother. Because Roy already broke into our house. So I was expecting Roy or Shane or Kurato. I was not expecting Junoru. After hearing the voice, I stop my assault. I quickly realize it is Junoru, although I cannot see him properly in the darkness. What the heck? I'm sorry, Drew. Didn't expect you to walk straight into my house. It is my own fault. I made the fair assumption. Junoru stands up and rubs his chest. You are quite strong. That was a good hit. Does it hurt? Uh, I wrinkled your shirt. I'm fine. My apologies. When you did not answer the door, I worried something might have happened to you. I was so busy cooking. I didn't hear you knock. How did you get in? You left the back door unlocked, so I let myself in. I put my hand on my cheek in embarrassment. This is the second time I have left the door unlocked. Sorry about that. So, what happened? As it turns out, I cannot go home at the moment. Don't tell me it's because of that chain guy. Indeed it is. Unfortunately, I cannot find my brother either. I did not know where else to go. It is late, and he's supposed to be home today. I can help you look for him. We are not supposed to be outside after 9 p.m., remember? Are you really serious about following that rule? Even when your brother might be in danger? He's probably staying elsewhere. Either way, it should be fine. In any case, it is best to stay inside it at this time of night. He's worried that his brother isn't home, but not that something might have happened to him. What? I apologize for taking up your time. I hope I am not troubling you by being here. Well, I did want to invite you over anyway. Him over anyway. Not at all. Please feel free to stay the night. There's a guest from upstairs. Oh. Juno gently gazes at me and then frowns. He rubs the back of his neck and bites his lip. I totally understand if you feel uneasy with someone creeping around your place. We can report him later. This is the least I can do to help. Thank you for your hospitality. Only a moment ago, I could have sworn you seemed uncomfortable spending the night. Although I want to ask about it, I do not want to ruin his mood. Not a problem. I don't have people over often, so I'll need to prepare the guest room first, okay? Are you truly comfortable with me staying here? Of course, make yourself at home. No need to be so polite. I made curry for dinner. Would you like to have some? Well, I appreciate the offer. I'm not hungry. Oh, okay. If you want anything else, just let me know. I take a seat on the couch and continue eating my meal. Bruno sits across me and watches as I eat. It feels more than a little awkward. Yes, I was like, that's kind of creepy, but okay. It has been ages since the last time I had a guest over. Even in Queen Leorgi hardly over visit. Are you sure you're not hungry? There's still a lot left. I appreciate your concern, but I ate something before I came over. Oh, I see. What about these cookies? They are fresh out of the oven. Please have one. Junoru said it was full, but the cookie never hurt anyone. I hold the box in front of him, hoping he will take a few. He goes quiet for a moment, his expression frozen. Slowly, he takes one and looks at it, fascinated. Um, mm, I feel like Junoru is something like it's something like Roya because Roy said we had a delicious smell. But then again, I remember Junoru just eating a zombie corpse like rock. Then there was no more zombie corpse. If you really don't want one, you don't have to. Before I can finish my sentence, Junoru eats the treat. How is it? His expression does not change as he swallows. I cannot help but worry that he might not enjoy it. It is delicious and crunchy. I feel flustered as I watch him take another one. I gesture for Junoru to have more, but he says he is full. I am satisfied that he at least tried a few. Once I'm done eating, I begin to take care of the dishes. May I use your shower? Of course, no need to be so humble. Make yourself at home. Miss Viviana, although you are kind in letting me stay here, I hope you realize you should be worried about letting people into your house. I don't know how to feel about Junoru because it's kind of like weird. I want to know his secrets, but then at the same time, he's like calling us like here have a reality check. We aren't strangers, are we? And then he just blushes at stuff like that. I don't know how to feel about him. With a sigh, Junoru heads upstairs. It might only be my imagination, but his cheeks seem red. By the way, if you need me, I'll be in the room next to yours. Junoru gives me a shout of confirmation. The hunter. Okay, Shane will be appearing. Shane will appear. I go to my bedroom and drop onto the chair. Well, this is an interesting way to start a holiday. I close my eyes and try to relax. It's been quiet for a while. Junoru should have finished his shower by now. Should I check on him? No, 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 no. We know how it went with the other guys after shower. Or before shower. He can take care of himself? Nope. Okay, so this is the right one. Make sure he's alright. I should probably make sure he's alright. The light in the hall is off, so I have to stumble around in the darkness to find the light switch. Did he shower in the dark? I lightly knock on the bathroom door. Joe, is everything alright? I wait patiently for an answer but receive only a silence. I decide to open the door and peek in the bathroom. It seems like Junoru is not in there. He might have gone to his room already. I head to the guest room and knock on the door. Suddenly I hear a voice behind me. Were you looking for me? I jump up in surprise before turning around. I just wanted to make sure you were all okay. Ah, thank you, but I was able to manage on my own. If you need anything, let me know. Junoru regards me with a smile before turning away. Well, good night, Miss Ivana. I watch him return to his room. Maybe I should take a shower too. Finally clean, I close the bathroom door behind me. With Junoru here, I feel so much safer. Maybe I should tell him about those creepy stalkers I have. He might not know what's going on. As I head through the hallway, I notice a light from downstairs. To my surprise, I was just staring because I was like, is that a necklace or is just stitching himself? To my surprise, Junoru is sitting in the living room. The dim lighting makes him appear even more mysterious than usual. Hey, what are you up to? I'm Miss Ivana. Unfortunately, my mind is so active that I'm unable to sleep. I can understand that. I get us each other of each blah, blah, blah. I get us each a glass of water before sitting opposite to Junoru. Anything you'd like to talk about? Ah no, I'm only overthinking things. I tend to do that when I'm alone. Speaking with you does ease my mind, however. Is there anything you would care to share, Miss Iviana? It keeps calling me Miss Iviana. I don't know how to feel about that. That feels weird. Like, just call me. If you insist, well, I feel like someone's been following me around lately. This creepy zombie lady attacked me yesterday too. You must think I'm crazy, but the way she behaved was so strange. Worry shimmers in Junoru's eyes as he listens to me. I don't think I'll risk going out that night again. I'm worried there are more of those creepy people. I reported the incident to the police, but they didn't seem to take me seriously. I believe it would be the best not to report any future incidents. Huh? Why not? Isn't that what the police are for? More people are getting hurt too. Because, Miss Iviana, I'm terribly sorry to have deceived you, huh? And true, I am the one who spread the rumors about the demon. Of course, there is no demon. Only dangerous people like the woman you described. And to ensure everyone knew something dangerous was lingering in the village, and Bruno rubs his gloved hands together. I sense guilt in his uneasiness. I'm not upset, whether there is a demon or just dangerous people. You did the right thing. But Junoru, why did you hide this from me? At first, I just wanted to warn you without frightening you. Now, however, the situation has become worse than I anticipated. Junoru leans forward as in his seat, hiding his face in his hands. I get the impression he still does not trust me enough to tell me everything. If you think it's for the best, I'll keep this between us. I just hope I won't run into anyone else like that woman. It was seriously scary and grotesque. Even drunks don't try to bite people. If you're going to try to stop them, I won't help. I appreciate your offer, but it is rather complicated. I... He lets out a sigh and runs a hand through his hair. I'm not certain of what to do either. I wish this appearance and reappearance would end, the same as anyone else. Even if I had a solution, the situation does not allow me. I made mistakes and consequently pulled you into this, Miss Ivana. For that, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I was stalked you. It happens more often than I'd like to admit. Junoru smiles faintly at my attempt to reassure him. It is getting late. It is getting late. Although you are on holiday, you should make sure you rest well. You're right, I'm going upstairs then. When I woke up again, I glanced at the clock. It is 3 a.m. It feels a little chilly in my room. I rub my eyes and notice I left the window open. I roll out of bed and stand on wobbly legs. It'd be bad if it started to rain on me. After closing it, I drop back on bed. I feel like I can't speak. I drop back on the bed and bury myself under the blankets. Not long after laying down, however, I feel annoyingly thirsty. I can't sleep like this. Head to the kitchen to the darkness. Since I have lived here forever, I can easily walk around with my eyes closed without bumping into anything. I hate waking up in the middle of the night. With my thirsty quench, I roll back into bed and let out a satisfied sigh. As I stretch my arms, I hit something unexpected with my hands. What the? I turn my head and find myself staring at Junoru's back. What? Why is he sleeping in my... I look around and realize I entered the wrong room. Oh dear, oh no. Please tell me I didn't wake him. I sit up carefully, try not to wake him, but notice something is off. I cannot resist the urge to confirm it by reaching out and touching his bare hand. Oh my, he is really cold. Oh, hey, are you okay? His eyes remain closed. And he's unresponsive. Oh my god. Girl, you should have like just realized what was going on and just left. I desperately call his name. Junoru, please wake up. As my panic begins to bubble over, Junoru finally stirs. What? Oh, Miss Iviana. He stares up at me in confusion before carefully sitting up. I take the opportunity to jump out of his bed and as quickly as possible. It's not what you think. I feel my cheeks eating up. There is no way to explain such an awkward situation. I was worried about you. Your body feels so cold. Not that I was trying to feel it. Oh yes, this is how I am naturally. I gaze at him with disbelief before grabbing his arm to check again. But Junoru gently pulls away. I'm sorry to have worried you, but I am completely fine. He slowly reaches out to stroke my hair, which only makes it hard for me to calm down. Okay. I'm trying to think of something else to say, and Junoru suddenly shifts and shoves me away from him. Ow. Oh. Huh? The senator responds to his sudden actions. I'm shocked even further by a loud noise as Junoru jerks back. A lot just happened right now. I need a moment to process. This was too much twists happening in a short moment. Because first I was like rude, and then like I heard the bang, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not rude. But also we were having a moment, and then we were just awkward, and my heart plummets in my chest when I see who stands in the doorway. Cold, familiar eyes peer at Junoru and me over the barrel of a pistol. Creepy gas mask guy. Creepy gas mask guy. Oh my god. No, it did not scare me. My thing was like, it was too much of like, it was like 1 minute per moment. Like it was awkward and was concerned and was awkward again, then was like rude and then was like, oh, maybe it was not rude. I glanced back to Junoru and noticed a red stain growing on his shoulder. I sit back up in a panic, reaching towards the injury before pulling back, realizing how bad an idea it is. Drew, are you? I look up at his face, but he seems unbothered by what must be by what must be a painful injury, instead glaring at his assailant. You won't get away this time. The simple words draws me out of my shock, and I turn back toward Junoru's attacker, positioning myself between the two men. Move. How dare you break into my house and attack Junoru? Just who do you think you are? Trent raises an eyebrow, whether at my question or my audacity, in the face of a gun. I do not know. Are you the one who's been are you the one who's been making the village disappear? I then realize exactly what sort of person would commit such an act. My heart races in fear, but I continue shouting, Junoru. You're the serial killer, aren't you? The one everyone's been talking about. And took his people of crimes without proof. If you aren't the culprit, then why are you after Drew? Because I want to put an end to the murders, and he's your real criminal. I glanced at my friend in disbelief. Instead of defending himself, Junoru meets my gaze for a moment, then turns away, looking sad. Drew? I am grateful for your kindness, Miss Viviana. Huh? Why are you saying that now? I'm so sorry to have involved you in this, but he is telling the truth. Huh? Why, Drew? That can't be true. Shane takes advantage of my confusion, rushing forward to forcibly yank me off the bed, and stabbing Junoru in the heart with a dagger in the same fluid motion. I pull myself. Wait a minute, I just realized something. Forgot to take out a timer. I pull myself to my feet as quickly as I can, only to stare in horror as Junoru calmly pulls the dagger out of his chest. Shane makes an irritated sound, stepping back and reaching into his jacket. Junoru gives me a small smile as he drops Shane's dagger to the ground. May we never meet again, Miss Viviana. I do not have time to reply before Shane pulls out his gun again, leveling it at Junoru. Junoru dashes to the window, opening it and leaping out into the night as Shane fires multiple shots in his direction. A few bullets hit him before he makes his escape. Shane and I race to the window, but it is impossible to see anything within the darkness. Drew, I believe. I sink onto the ground as my legs start to feel heavy. I ignore Shane as he makes another irritated noise and holsters his gun before turning to pick up his dagger. Shane snorts, the sound distorted and strange through his mask. I can't believe you protected that thing. Drew is not a thing, he's my friend. The man sighs in irritation. When he speaks again, his tone is that of someone speaking to a practically stupid child. Your friend isn't even human. He's a murderer, and you prevented me from stopping him. You don't know what he's capable of. How many more are going to die before we catch him because you couldn't stay out of the way? Neither do you, apparently. John isn't murder. Oh no, not this one again. Shane sighs, crouching down to look at me in the eyes. You know what the living dead are? Huh? I've read stories where people died and rose from the graves. Do you know what they eat? No? They eat people. You want monsters like that running around? No, but are you trying to say Junoru is some kind of zombie? Remember the bandage around his neck? I slit his throat wide open, but he still escaped. That's absurd. Nothing you're saying is possible. Are you an idiot? No, even if he is some sort of zombie, Junoru is a good person. Get out of my house. Whatever. Shane shakes his head as he stands up, and I get up to follow him to the front door. Don't ever come here again, and stop chasing my friend. Shane snorts but does not respond, stepping onto the porch. Take my advice, stay out of this. There are more living dead in this village, and they aren't all your friends. I told you. With that, Shane disappears into the night. I knew there was something strange about that guy. No wonder Drew was worried of him and knew what he was dealing with. I have so many questions, but it sounds we like he wants me to stay away. What if I ever see him again? What if I never see him again? I shake my head and close the door before returning to my room. I cannot help but feel anxious, but there is nothing more I can do right now. There's no way Drew's behind all those murders. If I have to, I'll find the real culprit to prove it. I spend the morning worried about Junoru. Is it time to look for him in case he truly does not want me to see him again? After a few hours, I finally decide to stop by the old mansion. I try to peek through the nearby window, but a layer of dust renders the glass opaque. Drew, are you there? Shot his name a few more times to no avail. Where was the secret entrance again? Fumble around the wall with my hands, searching for the hidden switch. Stupid secret wall door. Resign myself to the fact that he either is not there or is refusing to see me. I head home. Over the next 3 days, I continued searching for my friend, but I have no luck. I always walk home with a tight feeling in my chest. I hope Shane hasn't gotten him already. Sorry. I find some newspaper on the doormat and take them to the living room. An article on the front page catches my attention. Another victim has been confirmed in the serial murders plaguing our village. Hiro Itoshi, age 40, was found in a dumpster this Sunday morning. Hiro, who had been reported missing 2 days prior, is believed to have been killed between 11 p.m. on Friday and 3 a.m. on Saturday. But Junoru came by at 10 about 10 p.m. and he was still there when I woke up at 3 a.m. If he was at my house the entire time, it couldn't be the killer. It is possible Drew knows this, but still thinks of himself as guilty. I have to find the truth. Standing in front of the Kenichi mansion, I shout my friend's name at the top of my lungs. As expected, there is no reply. Desperate, I begin knocking on the windows. I try to peer through them, but it is too dark for me to see anything. I stumble around the side of the house, trying to look at the secret entrance. It's a miracle. I actually managed to open the passage there. I glance around the main room. Junoru is nowhere to be found, but I soon notice a faint sound coming from upstairs. As I follow the sound, it becomes clear, the faint tones crystallizing into the thrumming resonance of the piano's keys. The melody is gentle yet sad. This song, who could be playing it? A half-open door catches my attention. The music seems to originate from inside. By the way, the music is the opening. I got achievement for that. I approach the doorway, peering through to find Junoru seated on the bench of a grand piano. He seems very focused, yet his expression is filled with sadness. I listen quietly for a few long moments. All of a sudden, he stops playing and glances in my direction. I slowly move into the room, blushing awkwardly. That was a beautiful piece, Joe. He smiles faintly at my compliment. I suppose I should have expected you to sneak in again, Miss Viviana. I'm glad you enjoyed the piece all the same. It is called Dark Nights. Junoru reverts his gaze, staring at the piano keys as he addresses me. Why did you come back? I believe I made it clear we should not meet again. I still have many things to ask you. Besides, I think you're innocent. Across the room and hand Junoru the newspaper, pointing to the relevant article. As he skims through it, I remind him where he was at that night, then wait for him to draw his own conclusion. You can read it yourself. I don't understand why you accept the blame put on you that night. Junoru remained silent for a moment, deep in thought. Miss Vienna, please, come here. He shifts to one side of the bench, making a spot for me. I cross the room and sit down, watching him as I wait his response. Did Shane tell you anything about me? About what I am? He told me you were one of the living dead. He was telling the truth. I am basically a walking corpse. Oh, it did, okay. Junoru pulls the bandages of his neck down, exposing a scar across his throat. I stare at the injury until he gently lifts his chin, bringing my gaze to meet his. You may touch it if you wish. I assure you, it is real. The only way to kill me is to remove my head. Any other injury is merely an inconvenience. His body functions different from yours. Even if I'm chopped in half, I will not feel any pain. He leans forward, offering his neck for my inspection. I trace his wound with my fingers. His skin is cold to touch. When I give Junoru a concerned expression, he pulls away from me and straightens his back before pulling the bandage back into place. I apologize for crossing your boundaries. I should not have showed you something so grotesque. I'm not bothered by it. I told you. I'm glad you're being honest with me. You did not say you were scared of people like me before? Are you comparing yourself to the person who attacked me? No, you're totally different from them. Even if you're a little different from me, it doesn't change the fact that I like you. As a person, that is. This girl likes to dig her own graves. I early turn away as soon as I realize what I've blurted out. Juno chuckles at my reaction. Thank you, Miss Ivan. Please stop calling me Miss. It's being too polite. And true, there are many things I've hidden from you. I apologize for rejecting the dinner you worked so hard to make when I stayed over. This body cannot break down food well. I still drink tea though. Liquid is different. In short, I do not usually eat unless I need to heal an injury. Jane told me that you eat people, is that true? No, Junoru pauses, taking a deep breath before continuing. I apologize, Miss Viviana. No, I do not subsist on human flesh. Oh, that's good to hear. Eating it would allow me to heal faster, as my body could replace damaged cells more easily, but there is no need for me to consume it regularly. So you do. I neither kill nor eat people. I use an alternative method of regular food. It is painful to heal myself this way, however, and I find minor injuries are not worth the trouble. I cannot even begin to imagine what my friend has gone through. I gently wrap my arms around his torso, embracing him. Junoru seems frozen for a moment, but then I feel his arms drop around me. As we pull away from each other, I notice he is now smiling. After all I've said, it seems I am the one who is most surprised. I cannot express how I feel, Miss Ivana. Already told you, didn't I? It's the personality that matters most. That said, the corpse that was found last night. You know who did it, don't you? You are sharp as always, Miss Ivana. My brother Roya. He is the one responsible for your crimes as of late. I knew it! But then he says that he's him and John. So you've been covering up the evidence for him? Yes, he told me he was only attacking certain people, but I still wish he would stop. Why are you taking responsibility for his actions? You're your own person, Drew. He's the only family I have left. It is natural for me to protect him. As is obvious by this point, Roy is also living dead. Although we are fundamentally different, he requires human flesh in order to sustain his existence. I stared at him, horrified. Those demon rumors have turned out from lies to truth. That is what I feel most guilty about. Isn't there a way to stop him? I've tried, but there is nothing more I can do. Junoru rests his elbows on the piano, appearing more troubled by the moment. I cannot simply allow my only brother to die, and yet I cannot watch as he murders the villagers either. I have quite a dilemma on my hands. Why don't we talk to him together? Two minds are better than one? Miss Viviane, it's better if you... Hey, this is my problem too. I've lived here all my life, you know? If I have even the smallest chance to make this right, I want to do whatever I can. I give Junoru a determined stare. Before long, he gives in. You'll not simply drop the conversation, will you? Of course not. It seems I have no other choice then. I will accept your help on one condition. Do not tell anyone else about this. The state of the village is already unstable. I give a thumbs up and nod. That feels like a me reaction. I would also thumbs up and nod. Well, stop calling me miss! Well, Miss Ivana, I'm glad you stopped by. But now would be a good time for you to be on your way. My brother may wake up soon. This is perfect chance then. We can talk to him together when he's up. To be honest with you, I do not think now is a good time. I do not know what has been on Roy's mind lately. As if on cue, footsteps begin down the hallway, and the door is fully open. A tall blonde stands in the doorway. Hey, Juju. I thought I heard you talking to someone while I was in the shower. Miss Cutie again, huh? Not good timing. We were just saying we want to talk to you. Huh? That's unexpected. Roy attempts to approach me, but Junoru blocks him. Oh, chill, Juju. I'm not going to do anything to her. Do not call me by that weird nickname. But you're my adorable little brother. Why not? Their chemistry ever puzzles me. Junoru almost made Roy sound like a crazy person, but it seems fairly harmless to me. Then again, I shouldn't assume anything yet. To be fair, because of Roy's state, it does go crazy at least on Kurato's route. It kind of goes crazy to the point where he's like, you or her kill me, not Shane, please. I want Diviana or you to kill me. For me to die without regrets and like the what was clean mindset, clean path. I don't know. Do not let Shane kill me. Right, we need to talk about those accidents. Ray looks in my direction, tilting his head slightly. Did Silas tell her everything? I could not. Is she even trustworthy? If not, Well, you know the drill. The blonde begins approaching me once more, his mysterious eyes gazing into mine. I almost feel like I am being hypnotized, unable to look away until Junoru steps in front of me. This would be a great time for us to say that, oh, remember that time we found you on the locker den and we will help you out? Roya, I would appreciate if you stop attempting to intimidate our guest. Now then, why don't we take this conversation downstairs? The blonde snorts and pats his brother on the shoulder before walking on ahead. We make our way to the living room. I planned to have a serious talk with Roya, but it feels awkward now he has really joined us. The three of us sit in silence until I take the lead. Roy, is it true that you're the one who's been murdering the villagers? What makes you think that? You told me everything, you'll be caught if you continue killing, and who knows what will happen to you then? The man shoots me a mischievous smile, although his eyes are filled with poorly hidden contempt. Well, little Miss Know-It-All, what else am I supposed to eat? Are you offering up yourself as a replacement? I might stop killing if I have an entry as cute as you. Colonel clears his throat, deliberately interrupting his brother. Royal, please take this more seriously. I suppose I'll have to if I'm if my adoring little brother asks me to. Still, what do you actually expect me to do? Are you a biologist, Ivana? I open my mouth to speak, but realize he has a point. I vaguely remember Junoru mentioning something about him, as his brother's body is working differently. Well, if that's all you wanted to say, I'll think about it. If you'll excuse me, I have something to do. True, can I get the keys? Never mind, I'll just deal with it. Have a good night, Miss Cutie. After Roy leaves, Junoru clenches his hands together and lets out a deep sigh. Sorry, I guess I wasn't very helpful, huh? It was not your fault, Miss Viviana. It was not taking the situation seriously. Were you frightened of him? I seriously apologize for his crass demeanor. No, it's okay. It just come off as a bit. Despise what you have witnessed. It can indeed be serious at times. Even still, I do not know how to reach him, especially when it comes to the villagers. We only find ourselves in disagreement. As much as I do not wish to admit it, the reality is that he often kills villagers for reasons other than consumption. I see. Well, it did say consider what I said. I hope he'll keep his word. It has been a while since he last listened to someone. I cannot predict his actions, but I truly hope he will. Me too. By the way, where is he going? I believe he went back to his room. It does not go out every night, so there is no need to worry over it. Ah, that reminds me. Please do not explore the mansion beyond what you have already seen. Why not? Rhea sometimes leaves his leftovers in the rooms. A chill runs down my spine from the thought. Oh, okay, I get it. Anyway, I guess I should be going now. Would you mind if I came back tomorrow? Quite frankly, I'm surprised that you wish to return. Of course, you are always welcome here, Miss Iviana. Please, allow me to walk you home. With Shane outside? With Shane outside and going after you? Thank you. So many things have happened today that my mind can barely keep up. I can praise myself for finding the serial killer within a short amount of time, but that leaves the next problem: stopping Roy from killing innocent people. Yeah. I raised my parents. I was raised by parents who only believed in science. Believing that still seemed like fantasy. Junoru and Roy look completely normal despite being the living dead. Noticing nothing about them is gruesome or corpse-like. The more I think about it, the more curious I become. I yawn and pull the blankets up to my chin. My eyelids start to feel heavy, and I fall into a dreamless sleep. I wake up to the sound of a door slamming from somewhere inside the house. I sit up and peer around the room. What was that? I'm sure I looked at everything this time. I step out of my bedroom to check the hallway. There is nothing but silence. Where did the sound come from? As if answering my question, I notice movement in the darkness. Show yourself! The floor creaks as a shadow creeps closer. It said creaks. No, creeps close. Okay. I quickly try to find the light switch, still unable to recognize the figure. I fumble against the wall, but I realize who my visitor is before I can turn on the lights. Roya, what are you doing in my house? Oh, I was hoping for a stronger, more scared reaction, Miss Cutie. Breaking someone's house isn't a joke. How did you even get in here? You didn't lock the door. Anyone could have walked straight in. Yeah, right. I remember locking the door. I remember to lock it this time. If you broke the lock, you'll have to pay for the repairs. Oh, don't make me look bad. I just wanted to see your cute face again. In the middle of the night? What are you, a pervert? Anyway, go back to your brother. I'm sure he's worried about you. Nah, he'll be fine on his own. You, on the other hand, have loneliness written all over your face. Didn't ask for your company. Roya steps forward and grabs my arm forcefully. Oh, really? He peers deeply into my eyes. I freeze for a moment, and then I politely ask him to let go. With a straight with a straight face, I politely ask Roy to let go of me. He? Is spending too much huh. Is spending so much time around Jojo made you more obedient? Are you only here to mess with me? He seems amused at my annoyance. You're so fun. I should really save you for last. So you came to eat me, huh? The man grins mischievous as he rubs his chin. Maybe. I'm curious about how you taste. I step back in surprise, mentally preparing myself for the worst. You take me way too seriously, you know? We can play around another time. I came here for something bothering. Bo- uh, I came here for something boring but important. His gaze turns serious as his smile disappears. I only want to confirm something. You haven't told anyone about the incident from earlier this week, have you? You mean what happened in the storage room? I keep it to myself. Well, I don't think you're lying. You honestly believe I'm the one behind the villager's murders, don't you? Nor as an alibi, but I don't have any reason not to believe you're the culprit. Besides, even your brother thinks you did it. I'm hurt, Diviana. And you're trying to pity my own cute little brother against me? Shame on you. There are more things happening in this village than you know. Haven't you noticed that the population of living dead has been going up like crazy? You mean those zombie-like people? I guess. It's true that I'm responsible for creating them, but lately, they've been going out of control and attacking the villagers. Of course, if any victim survives the attack, they can easily turn into the living dead themselves as well, which means they can multiply rapidly. My brother and I have a different form of the virus, so we aren't contagious like the others. We were artificially made, you see? My eyes widen in shock. Anyway, the missing people are all long dead. My point is, you don't need to help us. Keep yourself locked in here and nothing bad will happen to you, we promise. What about all the living dead around town? They're dangerous. You'll only get in the way if you try to help. The next time I'm hungry, I might take care of them myself, maybe. All alone? You're getting ahead of yourself. Hey, you're underestimating me. Well, I'm off. Don't tell my brother what I said, or else he might end up hurting himself. Wouldn't want that, would you? Also, baby. Okay, I'm back. Does Junoru know what the living dead are does Junoru know that the living dead are multiplying themselves? Does it matter? Anyway, if anyone finds out about this, make sure you put all the blame on me. Leave my brother out of this. I softly, I softly argued to the request with a nod, despite fundamentally disagreeing with Roya. Think of this as making us even. I didn't forget that you helped me when I was injured, Viviana. Roya smirks before leaving me alone in the hallway. My impression of Roya has changed again. I have mixed feelings about all of this. This is the thing with Roya. Like, he's actually nice, and it's like what Junoru said. He can actually be serious. However, he can also be a psycho asshole when it goes to. Remember that little piece of garbage of a burglar that's got to you? I was the one who killed him. Like, he can be nice and like care for others and everything, but at the same time, you know, like Yagami, when he just decides to kill all people that are corrupt and everything. It's like Roya. That's what I can think of. Hi Shiro, how are you? My my impression of Roya has changed again. Junoru has a right to know what's going on, doesn't he? Once I'm sure I am alone. I have double checked all of the logs. Once I am sure I am alone and have double checked all of the logs, I return to bed. Next day, I walked on the street, steadily approaching Junoru's home. Did I really tell him about that last night? I might worry him even more though. I suddenly noticed someone standing under the streetlight, with the light casting a shadow over their face. I cannot recognize the figure is Shane again. I warily stepped closer, only to be unpleasantly surprised. Shane? The man's cold, blue eyes shift towards me as his breathing audibly slows. You shouldn't be outside at this time of day. The living dead are already out. What, already? Shane walks off without another word. Seeing is brought back. I am remembered of the moment he attacked Junoru. I won't ever forgive him for trying to warn Junoru and Roya. Unable to contain my anger, I sprint after Shane and raise my fist. Before my punch can connect, the man flips around and grabs my wrist. Have a nice rest. Even though I was in his blind spot, his reflexes were amazing enough to still kick in. What are you doing? Shane shows me away, glaring at me with clear killing intent. Don't act all innocent. You're trying to kill my friends. Do you even know what you're accusing me of? You're a real weird one. Hot meat kettle. I'm weird? You dress to intimidate, break into houses to assault people at first sight. And who in their right minds wears a gas mask in public? Shane turns silent as he considers my thoughts. Once satisfied, he crosses his arms. First of all, I don't assault anyone at first sight. I carefully follow them before taking action. I am not one of those mindless living dead. Secondly, I don't break into houses for fun. The smell of death. Mosquito. As for the mask, I'm just sick of the smell of death. Anyway, why does it even matter? Because it makes you look suspicious as hell, though. I think this is the first time I see him without a face mask. And it's weird. Shane puts a hand behind his head and begins to remove his mask, sighing as he does so. My eyes widen at the surprise is that is his appearance. Do I still look intimidating? Didn't know you looked pretty. It was. I can say what the thoughts were like. Oh, he's handsome. He's not intimidating. He's handsome. The man waits in my response, but I remain speechless. He snorts before putting his mask back on. So whenever he snorts, is him laughing. So he basically goes like when he laughs. That's is that so? Because it's like not the first time that he snores at something we say. If that's all you wanted to know, I have a job to finish. You should be grateful to me for in exterminating those monsters. I clench my fists as I glare at the man until he disappears. A short while later, I arrive at the Kenriji mansion. As I move to the side of the house, I notice a large hole in the hall. Oh my god. Did one of the brothers break the wall too? Well, it was pretty easy the first time. Yeah, the first time we just like lean on the wall and bam, oops. I giggle at the thought. I head into the passage and arrive in the main room. Drew, are you there? Nobody replies, but the mansion is large enough that he might not have heard me. I take a seat on the couch and wait patiently. Junoru did warn me not to explore. Minutes later, I still do not hear any sound. Should I look for him? I could be sitting here for hours if I don't. In the end, curiosity wins me over. The hallway is dark, so I search for the light switch. It thankfully does not take long to find. Further down the hall, I find fresh droplets of blood on the ground. Could this be from Roya victims? I wonder if I'm on the right track. Drew, are you here? The bloody trails leads me to a closed door. I brace myself from the worst as I open it. Just one peek. I can run away anytime. The steam filling my vision quickly reminds me that this is the washroom. Worse yet, the bathtub appears to be occupied by a masculine figure. Oh my. Why is it always a bathroom? Roya? A familiar chuckle answers me, raising goosebumps on my skin. I avert my gaze, only to discover his blood-stained clothes hanging near me. I wasn't expecting guests. Did you step in to join me, Miss Cutie? No, I'm sorry. I didn't see anything. I rushed into the hallway and closed the door behind me. I saw nothing. Nothing. The more I think about it, the more my shakes heat up. I do my best to push the thoughts out of my mind. Well, I don't want to walk in Drew too. I should probably head back downstairs. By the time I settle on the couch, Roya comes down the stairs, his hair still damp. Looking for Jojo, are you? I'm sorry to say he'll be out for a while. Oh, I'll come back later then. Wait, it'd be rude of me to send you off after you came all the way here. The blonde sits on the couch, facing opposites of me. Although I instantly feel uncomfortable, I do not want to miss the opportunity to learn more about him. Would you like a cup of tea? No, thanks. Sit yourself. So, you have a crush on my brother, huh? It's just like Ikuyo on this. It's just like Ikuyo on this. Huh? Why would you say that? It's always been unpopular, you know? I'm glad it's finally getting some attention. What, really? But he's so kind. I can't think of a reason people would dislike him. Well, he lacks confidence, which is probably my fault. I used to be the Kinrigi heir, but it turns out my parents weren't big fans of my attitude, so they gave the position to Juju instead. He didn't feel ready for it, I guess. He seems like the older brother sometimes, doesn't he? On the other hand, it doesn't speak as highly of you. You caused a lot of trouble for him. Oh, did he say that? Even if he doesn't want to admit it. I know he loves me. Oh my. You care about him too, don't you? You should try not to you should try not to inconvenience him so much. Roy chuckles before nodding, although it almost seems sarcastic. By the way, you know about your little stalker, right? That Shane guy? He was standing in front of the mansion earlier. Shane, huh? Roy stiffens up upon hearing the name. He rubs his chin and sighs. It seems quite interesting, but my brother doesn't want me killing anyone unrelated. The blonde stops before finishing his sentence and snores. We're really on the same side, but there he goes, nearly killing Junoru instead of getting rid of those annoying zombies. Shane's an extremist. Apparently, even the most obvious distinction doesn't matter to him. No use trying to convince him otherwise. You see, the Cambridges are the root of all this, and he knows that, which is why he wants to kill Juju and me first. What do you mean? It's a long story. If I live long enough to see you again, I'll consider telling you then. I wait for Junoru until it grows late, but he never appears. I'm forced to give up for the day. I end up staying home in the next few days, feeling unexpectedly exhausted. Every night, I hear a single gunshot in my neighborhood. Articles in today's newspaper reveal steadily worse details about the disappearing victims, such as their corpses suddenly appearing on the streets, having been decomposed for days. The bodies seem unrelated to the gunshots, but my gut tells me that the police found were the living dead. With Shane making his presence so prominent, I cannot help but worry for the Kinrigi brothers. Maybe I should pay them a visit today. The sky grows dark and cloudy along the way to the mansion. I'm glad I remembered to bring my umbrella. As I travel, I realize someone is standing in a small alleyway. I take a quick glance at them. Junoru is collapsed against a wall. I kneel in front of him and cup his cheeks in my hands. Drew, are you alright? What happened here? My friend does not respond. His eyes remain closed. Although the cuts on his clothing, I realize his right arm is missing entirely, blood slowly dripping out of the wound. The ground around him is painted red, although the rain threatens to wash it away. Finally, I notice Junoru has a deep gash in his neck. I instantly remembered he once told me that the living dead will die after they are decapitated. In panic, I desperately call out for his name. Junoru, you're still alive, right? See something. Just when I'm about to give up, the man's eyes slowly open. I nearly fall over in relief. He must give me a heart attack. After taking a moment to observe his surroundings, a pain moan escapes Junoru's lips as he tries to stand up. I hurriedly lift the umbrella over him. Miss Deviana. I apologize for allowing you to witness me in such a state. I must have passed out at some point. What happened to you? I was attacked by Shane. Ugh. I'm only thankful he was unable to fully sever my head. I truly believe it, I would die today. Even if I fell for your fake dad? Even, no, even I fell for your fake dad. I pursed my lips while I looked over Junoru's body. His wounds seemed so deep. No normal person could survive them. I'll help you clean up. Thank you for your concern, but I assure you, I am fine. You're starting to sound like Roy. Let me help you, right? Decide to call for help. I'm going to call for help. Hold tight for a bit. Miss Diviana. Junoru tugs at my sleeve, shaking his head as I begin to reach for my phone. There is no resident in this village who can treat my injuries. Beyond that, explaining my situation will be even more difficult than any treatment. I do appreciate your concern, nevertheless, of course. Junoru covers his mouth before coughing several times. I've never seen him so miserable before. You mentioned eating human flesh would help you recover more quickly, right? What if I... The man raises his hand to stop me from finishing. When our eyes meet, I can feel his bottomless sadness. Diviana... Finally, he's calling me Diviana, not Miss. Diviana, I would never let the nature of my existence bring you harm. It is enough that you had to put yourself between Shane and me. Please, never make such a reckless suggestion again. I didn't mean to offend you, it's just that... The expression softens into a reassuring smile. Junoru turns back to the hallway and grimaces as he leans down to pick up his dismembered arm. His movements are so stiff that I cannot help but reach down and pick up the arm for him. I don't know how to feel about it. Like here, you're... Miss Ivana, I normally keep it in place with the belt, but I'm so sorry for making you deal with this. I place his arm back in the right spot and drop the belts around it to tighten up. Junoru turns his face away while I patch him up, probably feeling embarrassed. We shouldn't stay in the rain for too long. Let's head to your mansion. I wrap an arm around Junoru and let him lean against me as we walk. It seems like a miracle he can still move, given how much worse his injuries are compared to Roya's back at the school. I leave Junoru on the couch and proceed to search for his first aid kit. The further down the hall I walk, the more bloody the floor becomes. I begin to suspect I am heading straight into Roy's territory. Turn around and I back. All of these doors look the same. How do Ju and Roy not get lost all the time? Putting labels above them would make it much easier. I open a random door and peer into the room. The walls and floors are stained in dark liquid, and the furniture has been smashed to bits. Judging by the mess, some sort of battle must have taken place here. I understand why Junoru warned me not to walk off on my own. Perhaps I should try looking elsewhere. Sorry for taking so long, Ju. Hold on a bit longer. Do not worry, I should be the one apologizing for making you search through my house. The first aid kit should be in the kitchen. Please, wait a moment while I... you can barely move. I'll get it for you. But Miss Ivana... I walk towards the kitchen and fumble around in the darkness until I step on something. What is this? I step back, somehow managing to locate the light switch. The room is stained dark red, as if a paint bomb exploded in here at some point. I start to tremble, but manage to calm myself down quickly enough. I search through the cabinet until I find a small, white box containing bandage. I hurry back to Junoru with it in my hands, trying to ignore the bloody scene around me. Here we go. I'll try to be quick. I forgot to warn you, but if you saw anything strange in the kitchen, it was from Roy attempting to cook a normal meal. What? Never put Roy in the kitchen again, please. He told me he wanted to experiment with food. No one was armed, although I cannot say the same about the poor blender he used. Jeez, I thought someone had been slaughtered. How could a person be so bad at cooking it practically made the kitchen explode? He has never been much of a cook. Even so, it was heartening to see him take your advice and attempt other ways to satisfy his hunger. To be honest, it can be a dangerous enterprise, as he is unable to metabolize more normal food. The contents will instead rot inside of him. A large enough portion could be fatal. Oh wow, I'm sorry I even suggested it. I didn't realize it was so serious. Junoru shakes his head and smiles softly to me. This is cute though. I kneel beside him and unbutton his shirt, his eyes follow my every movement. There are so many scars and stitches, it looks so fragile. I'm starting to worry if it'll only make this worse somehow. You never cease to amaze me, Miss Ivana. Does anything faze you? Seeing you hurt does. I'm glad I found you. If I were only as strong and self-assured as Roy. But hypotheticals are meaningless. Juno slides down his gloves, revealing his scarred hand. It is a pity to see such fair skin. Blemished all over? I grab his hand and hold it in both of mine. He glances at me, surprised. You should have more confidence. Even if the rest of the world rejects you, you should at least accept yourself. Miss Viviana. He gently squeezes my hand, while his longing stare captures me. My heartbeat slowly speeds up. I feel his thumb softly brushing across my fingers. Slowly, I lean in. Time seems to freeze as I over him. And then Roy appears. Suddenly, he takes back his hand and breaks his stare. The abrupt change makes me feel embarrassed. I pull back and regain my composure. I feel better now. Thank you for your assistance. Of course, if it was the least I could do. May I request we stay like this for a while longer? His voice is pleasant, yet tainted with a touch of sadness. I continue to patch him up while we resume our conversation. To my delight, my friend is truly beginning to open up, sharing his worries with me. Junoru has been suffering more than I ever realized. I only hope I can support him better in the future. Eventually, our discussion shifts to Roya. It has apparently been a full day since he returned home. Why are you so worried about your brother? He seems like someone who can handle himself. Well, it is a long story short. It is a long story. Come on, tell me anyway. Ryan may seem invulnerable, but he fears death the same as anyone else. Everything has a beginning and an end. He believes his time is coming soon, especially with the recent investigations. He has become very careless, which is also part of the reason I asked you to refrain from telling anyone the truth. Again, I apologize for involving you in our mess. That reminds me, I've been seeing Shane around a lot lately. It's too bad we can't work together to take care of the living dead. It cannot be helped. Junoru drifts in and out of consciousness as he lays on the couch. I take the opportunity to wash as much blood off my hands and clothes as I can, then spend the rest of the day keeping him company. Miss Ivana, will you be able to visit again tomorrow? As much as I'd like to, I think I'd be better off. It'd be better for you to rest for a few days. Even though you're special, you still shouldn't push your body too much. He snorts before giving into my request. Next day. The holidays feel excruciatingly long when there is nothing going on. Even the majority of the stores have closed down, since so many people have gone on vacations. Most students are helping out their parents' business. The remaining open stores become busier than usual. Hi, Stellar. Um, I'm a hare. I'm not a bunny or rabbit. I'm a hare. I'm sorry to inform you of that. Hares and bunnies are not the same. I'm sorry. Yes, you may. There is a command on chat. You can pet each other's on chat. Or there is also a redeem. No, you spell it right. You spell it right. See, and then you pet also the bird. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. The bird is not here. It just says that he's my imaginary friend, so I just put him there. I have to admit it. I feel lonely without the company of my classmates. I like that she's just like, yeah, is mentally here. But I like how the main character is like, oh, I feel lonely without the company of my classmates. However, she has not been thinking of them that much often. Because Junoru has been a lot in the main character's mind. I sit on a bench and glance around the park. Other than a silver-haired boy. There is no one else around. The silver-haired boy, you know it's Sashiro. You met on the prologue. Thank you for the head pets. I like that the main character already forgot everything about Sashiro. Like, that was the only guy that introduced himself on the prologue, but the main character already forgot everything about it. Again, we are pulling up oh, it's a sequel. And like, we met Sashiro while we were reading Dark Days on the park, on the prologue. And now we just, oh, there is no one in the park except Sashiro. Pulls out the sequel book. I pull a small novel out of my jacket pocket. Bright Days, a sequel to Dark Days. The original story caught my interest, so I'm eager to read the sequel. Even though this title is not as popular as the first, it seems to be written for the series fans. Rather than being a new story, it retells Dark Days from the perspective of another character. While While I am lost in the tale, I hear someone dash across a park. Yep, yep, basically that. When I look up, I notice Shane chasing Sashiro, a boy I met earlier. Oh, so now you know him. The man roughly grabs the boy by the scarf and pushes him into the ground. I feel like we are going to interact with them too. Like, Shane, again? Why are you doing this again? It's just a poor kid. It's actually a spirit and the temple's guardian. The fuck? After uncuffing the boy, Shin pulls him up and begins leading him away. I cannot even begin to imagine what sort of crime a child like him has committed. Even though I remember him, I decide to stay put. Girl, will you only act if it's the guy you are liking other house? What about you being nice to everyone? Like, on the prologue, we found out that we beat a bunch of seniors just because they were messing up with the freshmen. What happened to you? You would be the one that you would go to Shane and talk shit to him for arresting Sashiro for being a child. And then eventually Shane scolding you because he's not human. Why are you being weird again? Why are you defending supernatural creatures again? Blah 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 blah. Hold on, I need a tissue because my nose is running. If I fall, it's because I refuse to get up to get a tissue bag thing. I don't know what to call that. I did not fall. Okay. Also, I just realized something. I was hoping that Junoru would stay in our house as long as like Kurato, Zeikun, and Sashiro were. However, Junoru was only on our house one night, and it was not even be able to stay the full night because Shane just walked in. I feel like we are going to be the ones ending up staying at Junoru's house because he literally just asked us to visit like every day. And then we were just like, please just rest. Even though I remember him, I decided to stay put. I wonder if he'll be okay. The bizarre rest is so distracting, I do not notice when someone approaches me. The hand comes out of nowhere, casually resting on my shoulder, and I jump at that sensation. What a coincidence bumping into you here, Miss Cutie. This guy was just so lucky because Shane just left. Royal, what brings you here? I was in I thought I'd get some fresh air while the weather was nice. You're lucky just missed a chain. It is really a good idea to be outside right now? Sure it is. Roy glances around the park, and after confirming there is no one around, he takes a seat beside me. Also, I do not mind his company. I always feel awkward with him around. I want to leave, but that would be rude. I suppose Junior's manners have rubbed off on me. I saw what happened earlier, right? You saw what happened earlier, right? What do you mean? The boy. He was taken care of by Shane. I thought he was looking for me. Do you happen to know why that boy was arrested? No, but the fact he's with the gas mask now means the kid's in trouble. Anyway, that stalker seems to know too much about Juju and me. I'm starting to wonder if someone isn't leaking information about us. Roy smirks at me, his eyes narrowed, but I swiftly shake my head. Oh, come on, Miss Cutie. I didn't think it was you. Shane's been after us since way before we met. Besides, my cute little bro is too much of a worry-wart to risk worrying you by telling you everything. I know what the bastard is up to, and the last thing I'm going to do is let him get his grubby hands on me. Hmm? Ray lets out a sigh and glances at the bright sky. The book you're reading, Bright Days, is good. Characters that barely had a few lines in the first book actually got to speak their minds. Well, I probably shouldn't spoil it for you. Let me know when you finish reading it. I didn't expect Roya to be much of a reader, but it's nice that we have something in common. Hearing him talk casually makes him seem like a different person. I want to chat a bit longer, but he suddenly stands up and stretches his arms, yawning. I'm starting to feel tired. Staying outside for so long always does a number on me. Speaking of which, don't I usually see you at night? Well, that's the easiest time to catch the living dead. We're prettiest under the moonlights, don't you think? Shane may be crazy, but can't you work with the police? They want to put an end to this too. Isn't it obvious? With stained hands like mine, how could I ever ask authorities for help? Plus, Shane is with authorities. There must be someone willing to help. I don't know how many of those living dead are out, but you can't do it all alone. Whatever you say, Miss Cutie. Roy waves his hands before walking off. I paid Junoru a visit the next day, hoping his recovery has come along well. I had considered bringing him food, but ended up only taking a few packs of tea leaves, just to be safe. On my way to the mansion, I happened to bump into Junoru himself. To my surprise, he has shopping bags in both hands. Ah, Junoru, shouldn't you be resting? Ah, Miss Viviana, what a pleasure it is to see you. I even take care to rest and recuperate before going out and about. So you need not to worry. I glanced at the contents of his bags. It seems he bought sweets and other treats. He told me some time ago that it is torture to consume regular food. I cannot imagine what he has gone through these past few days. Ronald glances at the tea in my hand and smiles softly. Did you bring those for me? As always, you are too kind. Shall we get to the mansion so I can prepare you a cup? Gladly. Would you mind if I invite my brother to our little soiree? He also quite enjoys tea. Go ahead, the more the merrier. Junoru leads me over to the sofa, ensuring that I'm comfortable before he heads upstairs. I wonder if the brothers' bond has started to repair itself. Junoru no longer seems as gloomy when he mentions Roya. Minutes pass, but Junoru still has not returned. What is taking him so long? Did I check on him? Junoru, is everything alright? My shout goes unanswered, and I cannot resist the urge to search upstairs. I glance into the hallway and notice one door is open a crack. I decide to take a peek into the room. I see Junoru kneeling down, staring at Roya's body in silence. My stomach lurches as I gaze at the blonde, who is an even worse condition than Junoru was back in the hallway. Junoru? What happened? I step closer to properly examine the situation and see a deep cut on Roya's neck. Horrified, I turn away and take a step backward. I just spoke with him yesterday. Why did this happen? And we were starting to come to an understanding. Junoru clenched his fists as tears streamed down his cheeks. I reached out to offer what comfort I can, not knowing what I can possibly say. He slowly rises to his feet and turns away from Roy's mutilated corpse. He struggles to find something to say, lost in his sadness. When it seems like he's about to break down, he pulls me into a tight hug, his chin resting on my shoulder. His breathing is rigid. The depth of his sorrow is trapped below the surface, trying to force his way through. For what feels like the first time, Junoru's air of calmness is breaking down in front of me. Tears well up in my eyes, blurring my vision. I did not expect Shane to kill him. The elder brother I grew up with always seemed so strong, and I. Do you should take revenge on your brother? You should take revenge for your brother. Did I click on something? Junoru slowly pulls away the brush and brushes off his tears. I'm glad you were here, Miss Ivana. I'll handle the rest of this myself. Should go home then. Understand if you need some time alone. Before I leave, I take one last glance at my friends. The poor guy looks like he's about to give up on life. I hope it will be alright. My mind is so filled with worry for Junoru that I cannot sleep. I hope Ju didn't misunderstand what I said earlier. What Shane did was unforgivable, but doesn't mean he should stoop to his level. If I ever see Shane again, I'll punish him myself. I fell into a deep sleep with Shane and Roy still on my mind. The two men stand in a large room. You're the one behind all of those deaths? If I told you I wasn't, would you believe me? It doesn't matter. You and your brother have to die anyway. Man, this is only the second time we've met, and you're already accusing me of murder? Rude. Well, blame me all you want, but leave my cute little brother out of this. That cub couldn't hurt a fly. As if I trust anything you say. All you think about is eating humans, so we're natural enemies. To be fair, I wouldn't trust you either. Roy rips off a piece of curtain and dashes for Shane, while Shane prepares his knife for an attack. You really think you can beat me in a close combat? In the blink of an eye, Roy dodges Shane and slips behind him in the same motion. The blonde uses a scrap of cloth to blind his opponent. What the? Did you really expect to kill the king of the living dead so easily? That's just insulting. Roy pushes Shane down and drops his hands around his opponent's neck. Tell you what, I'll let you kill me if you promise to leave my brother alone. I'm not lying when I said he has nothing to do with this. It's not like anyone's happy with me around anyway. Shane gasps for breath. while Roy strengthens his grip on the man's neck. Otherwise, I'll just kill you right here. Shane glares at him and takes a few deep breaths before talking again, sacrificing himself for his younger brother. What is his story? I swear on my family's graves that I'm telling the truth. As long as you leave him alone, you can kill me. Do you have a deal? Fine. Ray releases Shane and kneels before him, and raises his blade, ready to slay his enemy. A moment before the blade slices through Roy's neck, it feels like time briefly freezes, and I can hear the blonde's final words. I've killed so many people that this ending is only fitting. Sorry for leaving you alone, Jojo. Silently, I switch positions with Shane. I'm the one holding the knife and bringing it down on Roy's neck. The world turns red before I can see what happens next. Roya! I woke up screaming, my body covered with sweat. While I calmed myself, I peered around the room. Although it was only a dream, it felt so real. There's no way Roya could have died like that. I was afraid of that, and especially of Shane. It was just a weird dream. That's the thing with the main character, and one part of the reason, because I've been suspicious since one of Kurato's bad ending, where we just went back in time when facing Blaze, and the way Razumi is interested in us to the point where Razumi wants us and she sees some sort of power in us. Plus our dreams that we have with the characters. For example, I'm pretty sure one dream that we had with Kurato was when Roya died and Kurato and or Shane had to kill Roya. Sachiro was when he was facing when he was seeing the ghosts, the evil spirits possessing people and killing them, blah blah blah. I think I don't remember exactly Zeikun, but Zeikun was also something similar, or like something related with people going after him, or his fight with Razumi was something like that. So, in terms of the bloody that they had. We didn't have a dream with Junoru yet, however, we just had a dream with Roya and Shane. And even though the character says that feels weird or blah blah blah, at the same time it would not, because Roya told us, put all the blame on me, and he knew he was going to die. He was afraid, but also he wanted to die, because in Kurato's route he really begged us to kill him. So we say he's afraid because Jun tells us that he's afraid of dying, but I don't think Roy was afraid of dying. I think it was actually Roy just accepted his death, and he hoped his death would bring peace to Jun. I sighed with relief and peeked at the clock. It is 6:10 a.m. Already morning. Because I'm still on holiday. There is no need to wake up so early. I closed my eyes and attempt to go back to sleep. However, the dream from last night keeps popping up on my mind. The scenes repeat in front of my eyes, same words being spoken over and over again. I cling tightly to my pillow and roll over. I can't fall asleep like this. I decide to pay Junoru a visit to help calm down my nerves. Hopefully, he's already up. It would be embarrassing to walk in on him sleeping again. After getting dressed, I head out the door. The sun has not risen yet, so it is still a bit dark outside. I try to head straight to Junoru's bedroom. assuming he will still be in there. However, I have to navigate the maze-like mansion on my own to find it. I open the room I suspect it is and peek into. There he is, sleeping soundless on the bed, with his shirt wide open. He's going to catch a cold if I leave him like that. Girl, just leave! I silently creep inside the room and grab a blanket. Slowly pull it over him. I cannot help but notice the wounds and the scars on his torso, pausing as I look him over. He must, he must have been through more than I can imagine. Despite all the damage, he said he would never consume human flesh to heal himself. No, 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 no. Just as I finish pulling the blanket over him, I lose my balance and fall forward, right on top of Junoru. Yep, I feel wrong. He's still asleep. I can't believe he didn't wake up from someone falling onto him. Ugh. And then Junoru's eyes open, staring straight at me. Words cannot describe the ensuing awkward silence. I jinxed it. Good morning, Drew. Have I ever told you what a sturdy body you have? How to make it awkward? Bring the wolf talk from Little Red Riding Hood. Grandma, with what big eyes you have, what big hands you have, what big ears you have, what big mouth you have. The man expression is understandably one of speechless confusion. Moving faster than I ever have in my life, I stand up. I cannot think of a way to explain myself without making the situation worse. Nuru blushes, making me feel even worse. Miss Iviana, you certainly arrived early today. He noticed the blanket, then looks at me with a smile. While your consideration is very kind, you need not take such measures on my behalf. The living dead do not experience changes in temperature or illness like normal humans. Anyway, I'm sorry for waking you up. I should probably go home now. Please do not leave on account of me being awake, Miss Tivian. Yeah, you kinda just woke me up. You might as well just stay. The touch of mischief in his smile makes my heart skip a beat. The mansion has been so macabre with my brother gone. Your company is more welcome than ever. Despite my embarrassment, I sit on the edge of his bed. Sorry for waking up. I'm happy to stay. Thank you. His voice is a soft whisper as he closes his eyes. My cheeks continue burning up despite my efforts to stay calm. I have a question. If he's dead, how can he blush? You know, Because technically there is no blood circulation going, right? Yes, the blood is stuck on his body, but it's not like going around. So how can he blush? Him, vampires, like ghosts even, like Sashiro. How can the minutes pass by before he slowly sits up and fixes his shirt? This whole time he was with his shirt still open. He stands up and walks over to the dresser, opening it. Please don't change clothes in front of me. It is filled with so many clothes, far more than I ever owned. I avert my eyes as he pulls out the shirt. Despite how old-fashioned his clothes seem, he maintains a classy style. It did change in front of us. Miss Ivana, what are your plans for today? Well, I need to make a run for the supermarket later. Do you mind if I join with you? Are you sure? What if Shane? Please do not worry. Even Shane is not so reckless as to assault me in public. Well, about that, we saw him arresting Sashiro. Gladly strokes my hair, smiling gently. I blush at his touch. Why do I suddenly feel uncomfortable around him? Um, let's go. While we are heading to the supermarket, notice the streets are filled with many people. One of the newspaper boys waves wildly with his arm while announcing the headlines. Another corpse with strange wounds was found this morning. Be careful walking around at night, everyone. My eyes widen from shock. The death toll is rising even after Roy's death. Junoru pauses and frowns before turning to me. They truly do act quickly. Believing that, you mean? Please do not say this out loud. I quickly cover my mouth and lower my voice. I should not have let my guard down so easily. We silently continue forward when my dream from last night pops out in my mind. You know, I had a weird dream about Roy last night. Junoru glances at me curiously. Ah, you have been thinking about him a lot, haven't you? What? No, not that kind of dream. I've read that dreams can reflect one's worries and beliefs. In any case, tell me about it. His expression turns frosty. I begin to worry that the topic of his brother is still too sensitive. Well, it probably sounds silly, but Roya called himself the king of the living and dead. It couldn't be something like that, right? Junior seems surprised, but then sighs. In a way, I suppose that is true. I'll explain it later. Why not now? When you say it like that, it makes me curious. I pause and cross my arms in protest, but Junoru merely gives me a gentle smile. If you frown like that, it will ruin your charming face. No, it makes me blush again. I apologize. It is simply a long story, and I would prefer not to recount it in public. Ask me again in private. Once I'm finished shopping, I head home. I invite Junoru to come with me, but he said he wanted to rest at the mansion. I drop onto the couch and browse today's newspaper. There are a few photos of the recent murders' locations. I recognize one, which was taken in a nearby alleyway. Before I can continue, someone knocks at the front door, which reminds me that the doorbell has not been fixed yet. I take a peek out the door peephole. Pipe hole. Peephole? Pipe hole? Hmm. Although his head is bowed, I can tell by the clothes that it is Junoru standing outside. Miss Ivana. I opened the door to greet him, but he instantly collapsed. Thankfully, I managed to catch him in time. I drag him inside onto the couch, which is when I notice he has several fresh ones. What happened to you? Wait, no. You need the to be treated first. Before I can walk away, Junoru grabs my sleeve. Please, stay with me for a moment. But you... My body has already begun to recover. I'll be fine. I hesitate, but sit down beside him on the couch. He sighs with relief before peering up at me through his long eyelashes. I take the opportunity to get a better look at his body. He almost appears to have been sectionated off, each area nearly severed. Although he is not is on the is one of the living dead. I can barely believe he's still alive. Shane is dead. What? Of all things I was expecting at this point, this was not it. Junoru shivers with each word. All I can do is stare at him in disbelief. Can you tell me what happened? Juno turns his face away from me. After a short moment of silence, he starts to explain. We had a chance encounter while I was walking home. He was so surprised that he must have thought I was dead. We end up fighting, but Juno stops for a moment and raises his bloody gloves. The commotion we caused attracted other living dead to the area. Shane was so focused on killing me that he was unable to defend himself from them. When he pulled his gun on me, I ended up fleeing. I left him there to die. It was selfish, only saving myself. Perhaps I should not be the one. Don't say that, it's okay? Shane killed your brother, and he tried to kill you as well. You're being way too soft on him. What's important is that it's over. I lean forward to hug Junoru, hoping to calm him. He freezes in surprise for a moment, but soon wraps his arms gently around me. I apologize for disturbing you at this time of night, Miss Viviana. It's okay. You can always come to me. I sit with Junoru until he falls asleep. Afterwards, I examine his wounds, which seem to have stopped bleeding. Even so, simply witnessing the cuts and bruises on him make me sad. An innocent person like Junoru does not deserve this. In fact, even though I feel guilty about it, I'm glad Junoru will be safe with Shane gone. I carefully remove his blood-stained clothes before putting a blanket over him. Roya was killed, and now Shane is dead too. I hope Ju will make it out of this alive. My worries stick with me until I fall asleep. In the morning, I find the blanket I put on Junoru folded neatly on the couch. Lying on top of it is a small note. Thank you for your hospitality. I cannot apologize enough about last night, and felt it best to rest at home for a few days, Junoru. The following days pass by slowly. It is boring without Junoru around, but I know I should not bother him too much. I hope he recovers soon from those past events. The break has ended today, so I can finally see Leo in the Kuya again. As I walk to my classroom, I notice a huge crowd blocking the doorway. What's going on? They're acting like we have a celebrity guest. I feel someone poke my shoulder and turn to find myself face to face with Ikuya. Wow, how long have you been standing here there?
Only a few seconds. I hope you had a nice holiday.
Yep, sort of. A time with Junoru flashes through my mind. I did have fun when I was with him. How was your trip with Lyoje? Did you two have lots of fun without me? I turn my arm around her shoulder and tease her with a mischievous smile. She crosses her arms and blushes lightly, shaking her head heavily.
Don't make it sound weird, Dum Dum.
I chuckle at Kuya's honest reaction, even though she has a crush on Lyoje.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Sorry. She has never told him how she feels. On the other hand, I do not know how he feels, but I suspect it is not mutual. Yeah. I feel like Lyoji might like hers. Anyway, do you know what's going on here?
Yeah, we're getting two new transfer students today.
Oh, it's it Blaze and Jace? What? In the middle of the year?
Weird, right? Well, we don't get new students very often, so everyone's excited about it. Come with me. Let's take a peek at the new people together. If we go outside, we can peep in through the windows.
He grabs my hand, pulling me through the hallway and out the main doors. Hey, are you two trying to stalk the transfer students? I flip around at Lyoji's voice to be greeted by him raising a brow at us. Glad to see you again, Lyoji. Do you know what time it is? Everyone's supposed to be heading to their classes.
Like you want to talk. I just want a quick peek.
I'm like you, I won't get distracted on the way back. If you don't go back now, you'll be late. Okay, Mr. Class President. I mean, you do realize that transfers are part of our class, right? You can stare at them all you want once you're seated. You're such a, you're such idiots. We pout at him before turning away and walking ahead. Once Ikui and I are inside the classroom, I immediately spot the new students. I cannot help but feel embarrassed that I went to so much trouble to get a look at them. The boys stand out quite a bit. What's with the bandages around their mouths and arms? Yeah, I said it's Blaze and Jace. They look a lot like. They look a lot alike. Are they twins? As I walk past the new students, their eyes follow me, and the shiver runs down my spine. They are staring at me almost hungrily, as if I'm nothing but prey to them. Once everyone is seated, the teacher asks the boys to introduce themselves in front of the classroom. My name is Jace, and this is Blaze, my older brother. We're fraternal twins. Our parents recently passed away, and we transferred here to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city while we mourn. I hope we can all get along. This was not their excuse the first time. The red-haired guy is Chase, and the other seems to be Blaze. I stifle and giggle at their random names. Funny that their only appearance is on Junoru and Kurato's routes, which are the routes that are intertwined because Kurato is a friend of Junoru from childhood. So it's funny that the only route they appear is on those routes. Blaze is staring elsewhere with bored eyes, as if he's uninterested in us. Yeah, do you remember Shane? Well, Jace, which is a haired guy, if his brother is gone, because like he's the younger brother, if his brother is gone, it kind of becomes a little bit like Shane. Yes, Blaze is the blue one, Jace is the red one. Because his brother is the one who brings him to reason. And the more like, yes, his brother might be cool, but he's like reasonable. The other one, he might seem nice, but he might not be nice. You know, they're twins. They are Hell's Gate keepers. That's why they have the bandage to hide their claws and their teeth. If you want to know anything about us, just ask. How old are you? We're both 20. So they are 2 years older than us. They are 2 years older than us. What are they doing in our class? We're both 20. What, you couldn't tell, huh? Also, how are we in high school? Because the main character is in high school. 18, okay, I kinda get it because a lot of people turn 18. However, special also the special class, the elite class. Everyone is from 18 to 20 something. Like the main characters, Hashiro, Ryoji, and what's the name? And Ikuya, and per consequence Ikuyu, and probably Roya are 18, and not Roya, and Junoru are 18. Roya and Kurato are the same age, and Kurato says that he's 19, so he's 1 year older than us. Kaishi is the same age as Kurato, technically, so Kaishi is also 19. Shane is on 20s. Zeikun is also on his 20s, but Zeikun doesn't be part of the class, but still. And these two are 20. So, like, what type of high school goes until 20? No, we are in high school. Yeah, they should be in college, but this is all high school. And we are third year. So, I'm confusion. Unless this is Korean age, so it's understandable. If it's Korean age, I understand. No, they didn't. The people on the elite class are super brainiac people. And Shane is on the elite class, and Shane is like 21, more around that. So he can't be repeating. The same with Kurato is on the brainiac class. No, it doesn't have. Just weird. Because like for you to go to the elite class, you need to be a brainiac, and be related to the supernatural somehow. A few people ask them why they are bandaged. We have a certain illness that doesn't allow us to expose our skin to sunlight. Shouldn't you really be coming to school then? Blaze instantly glares at the student who asked the question. I don't think that's any of your business. His sharp tone silences the room, and everyone stares at him in shock. Once the awkwardness settles down, the brothers return to their seats. Chase seems friendly enough, but his brother seems awfully moody. I hope they can make friends. As my train and thoughts end, I notice Blaze staring in my direction. I drop my pencil from the surprise and swiftly avert my eyes. For the rest of the day, I avoid looking in the boy's direction. For some reason, I get the feeling Blaze is watching me. I breathe a sigh of relief when class finally ends. What was the guy's problem? Either way, I shouldn't let him intimidate me. While I pack my belongings, I notice that Blaze and Jace are standing in the hallway. I silently prayed they will not pay attention to me. Hey there, I jinxed it myself. I look around, wondering if Jace is trying to talk to someone else, but I'm the only one around. Yeah, I was talking to you. I greet the brothers with a weak smile. Hi, is there something I can help you with? I know it's a selfish request, but can you show us around the school when you have time? I blink with faint innocence, tempting to mask my hesitance. I'm screwed. Also, I do not want to show them around. I do not want to give the new students a poor impression of the school either. Of course, besides, I'd love to get to know you two better. Great. Do you have time right now? Between the mismatched communication of Jay's gentle voice and forceful gaze, I do not feel like I can reject him. Yes, I have time, I guess. Ah, perfect. Jace appears quite pleased, but Blaze is still wearing the same bored expression as before. He seems like the type who dislikes school. I guide the brothers around the building, showing them all of the key areas: classroom, libraries, nurse office, cafeteria, and more. By the way, I apologize for my brother's behavior. He's always like that, so don't mind him. Shut up, Jace. That reminds me. Can I ask you why you keep staring at me in class, Blaze? The man turns to me with a raised eyebrow. Giving up, I wave my hand as if to say, forget it. Oh, so my brother's taken an interest in someone, has he? What do you mean? You know, he's actually. Shut up, both of you. Blaze alternates a dead glare between his brother and me. I was just joking, mostly. He doesn't usually like people. But well, if he does take a liking to you, you should be careful around him. What's that supposed to mean? Blaze tugs his brother closer to him and grants. Don't take him seriously. Why should I take you seriously? Blaze raises his chin and narrows his eyes, glaring at me. I can even hear him grinning his teeth beneath his bandage. I snort at his reaction. The stereotypical delinquent act is comical to me. When we finish the tour, Jace politely thanks me while predictably Blaze says nothing. Why don't we make more plans, since we don't really know anyone else yet? The fact Blaze has his back turned to me does not convince me that I am wanted. Don't mind me, I'm sure he'd love to be friends with you. When Jace goes to give his brother a playful kick, he surprisingly managed to dodge it, even though it came from his blind spot. By the way, do you even know my name? Diviana, right? I see you check the student register. Oh well, I actually knew you talk too much. Let's go already. Blaze grabs Jace by the arm and pulls him along, giving me one last chilling glare before disappearing. Those two are definitely up to no good. Well, Jace is friendly enough, but it could just be an act. I shouldn't let my guard down. Since I do not have any homework to do, I decide to spend my extra free time with Junoru. Hey Jude, did you go to school today? No, I'm only going later tonight. Alright, you told me you were taking the night classes. Which remind me, can I come with you? I realize going out so late is not safe. The teachers even had a few meetings to discuss the possibility of cancelling night classes indefinitely. As I said before, however, the students attending night classes are of a different caliber. Do you still want to go? I I won't let myself to be dead weight. If we need to fight, I'll help you. I'll help out. Even so, the living dead are my responsibility, and allowing me to protect you is part of the deal. Junoru gently takes my hand and smiles at me, the soft gold of his eyes burrowing straight into me. He knows I cannot argue with him whenever he acts like this. Why not like get the bad ending? Like, okay, I'm not so far from it. Okay. We talk until my stomach begins to rumble. Junoru insists on serving me dinner, so I stay for some Shichijiru and Takikomi Gohan. Isn't Gohan just dinner? Or rice? Is it dinner or rice? While I eat, Junoru shares some notes from his night's classes. The subjects seem different and even more advanced than what I have seen in the classes today study. You may send out without an elite class uniform, but I do not think it will cause any problems. I guess I could try to find something formal at home. You look lovely just like this, Miss Vivian. If you truly do end up liking night classes, however, I'm sure you could have a new uniform made. We talk a little while longer, and then I leave to prepare for night classes. I feel like a excited to go on their first a child excited to go on their first trip to the amusement park, impatient to pass the time until June arrives. I can't wait to finally meet those mysterious elite class students. There are no lights on in the school building, although the main doors are unlocked, with the shadows blanketing everything. This looks like an entirely different place. Are we just supposed to walk through here in the dark? Indeed, the director wants to save on the electricity bills, or so he says. Okay, if you say so. After you have walked through here a few times, you get used to it. Do you all have night vision? Is that your special ability? No, but that would be far more interesting. Rather, we have memorized the layout of the hallway. Junoru offers his arm to help me through the darkness as he guides me to the classroom. Once inside, however, I quickly become self-conscious and slip my hand away from him. No one has bothered to turn on the lights. I fumble through the darkness until my foot hits something and I fall down into someone's lap. Get off! I instantly jump up when I realize the person I fell onto was Blaze. Sorry, that was just an accident. Blaze glares at me before mumbling something inaudible. What is he doing here? I feel a pat on my shoulder, and then a girl with long black hair and crimson colored eyes steps in front of me. He joined our class tonight, so he's not used to this environment yet. His brother is a lot friendlier though. Wait, Jace is here too? Don't compare us. Blaze gives the girl an irritated glance, but she brushes him off. Anyway, are you also transfer student? I didn't hear anything about the third. Oh, let me introduce myself first. My name is Razumi. Nice to meet you. I'm Diviana. I'm actually only here to see what it's like. So I'm an official student or anything? Razumi and I chat until the teacher arrives. Luckily, there is an empty seat beside Junoru, which I decide to occupy. Ryder sits alone in the corner, far away from the other students. I search the room for familiar faces, but the only other people I know is Blaze. Why is he taking the night classes too, anyway? I lean towards Junoru and whisper, hoping the teacher does not hear me. That's how you do on your first class, girl. Do you know anything about that bandaged guy over there? Junoru frowns and glances at Blaze, but lowers his head towards his gaze again, within seconds. It feels like I have pried onto a sensitive subject. That is Blaze. I want for my friend to continue, but he remains silent. What's so special about him that he joined the night classes? I do not know. I do not think it is worth asking him either. I pick at Blaze, who appears to be so bored that one might think he is being forced to stay here. Knowing it will only cause a scene if I try to speak with him. I decide against it. For the next few hours, we learn about medical herbs, a subject I have never even heard about in passing. I am glad the teacher does not pay any mind to my presence and, even though I am a new face, does not ask me for an introduction. Whenever Junoru notices me struggling to follow the lecture, passes me his notes and definitions to help me keep up. Before long, I decide to take a bathroom break and find myself in the dark hallway once more. I wonder if this is the only night class. I use the moonlight streaming through the windows as my guide. When I reach the stairs, I pause. There are no windows lining them, and I do not want to trip to my death. Suddenly, I hear what sounds like someone dragging a sack of potatoes from downstairs. I lean against the railing and strain my eyes, curious. I meet the sight of a bloody hand grabbing at each step as a body lurches forward. Feels like I have been dropped in the middle of a horror movie. Do not hesitate to turn back and dash forward to the classroom. Please tell me that was just my imagination. Why does the school look so scary at night? Every time I believe I located the class, the door only leads to an empty room. Without the lights on, they always all appear identical. I become desperate after the fifth wrong turn, and I end up at the stairs once more. I stop for a moment to catch my breath. To my fright, I notice that the bloody hand, which is firmly attached to a body clad in dirty white clothes, is standing at the top of the steps. On top of it all, the figure's Snow White. The figure Snow White's hair hides their face. I begin running once more, even though my lungs still ache. When I look back, I realize the ghost-like figure is chasing after me. It's moving like a marionette. What the heck? Before I can scream for help, I jump into Junoru. Huh? Here you are. What is wrong, Miss Diviana? Someone is chasing me? By the time I turn around, I realize the figure has disappeared. Junoru rests a hand on my shoulder, wearing a concerned expression. There was a person whose hands were covered in blood. and they were pale like a ghost. I'm with you now, so there is no need to be scared. My friend drops his arms around me and pats my back. I am so relieved that he showed up in time. Sorry for worrying you. I was trying to find the bathroom, but I got lost. My apologies. I should have led you there. Of course, you are not used to walking around in the darkness. Follow me. I will show you there now. He takes my hands. With him by my side, I no longer feel afraid. Here we are. I will wait outside, of course. I enter the washroom and rush into the stall, not even bothering to look for a light switch. By the time I finish washing my hands, the shuffling sounds from before have returned and seem to be coming from nearby. Turn around and notice a bloody ant reaching over the top of one of the stalls. My legs freeze and a blood-curdling scream slips out of my mouth. Within a second, Junoru has stormed into the washing room with a worried expression. Miss Viviana, what happened? Are you alright? I managed to point at the stall, but the mysterious hand has already disappeared. That person with the bloody hands was in there. Infam knocks at the door. Is anyone there? Although there is no reply, a dark red liquid begins to stream out from the gap between the door and floor. My friend cautiously pulls the stall open, but there is nobody inside. I wasn't just imagining it. Odd. I've never heard of anything like this happening here before. Could it be that those subjects... Junoru bites his bottom lip, almost looking frightened, before leading me back to the classroom. Are you okay, Joe? Well, there is no need to be concerned for me. Don't tell me you get queasy when you look at blood. Or maybe you're scared of ghosts? No. Are you sure you look a bit pale earlier? I'm always pale, Missy. In any case, I hope you're feeling fine. But that must have been quite a shock. That was nothing. The idea of ghosts does creep me out a bit. Me out since you can't do anything to make them go away. But I'm all good. On the contrary, if you help lay there and finish your business to rest, they will ascend. Speaking of which, I believe there is a rumor about a ghost residing within the school. It supposedly only appears at night at random times, but it should be harmless. What we saw might have very well been him, although I earnestly believe he was a tall tale creeped by the students at this point. Back in class, it is time for a break, but the teacher has left. The students remain within the room, entertaining themselves by socializing, except Junoru, who, aside from me, is sitting alone. It is a surprise considering he is such a kind person. On the other side of the room, in another corner, Blaze also looks quite lonely. Although I want to chat with Junoru, Razumi approaches him before I can speak. I glance over at Blaze and decide to talk to him instead. Hi Blaze, mind if I sit here? Without so much as a glance, I'm simply ignored. I wave my hand in front of the man's eyes until he seems annoyed. What's your problem? I just want to talk to you. Is that really so bad? Yes, get lost. His cold words pierce through my chest like icicles. Nobody has ever outright rejected me like this, and it hurts. This feels wrong though, because Junoru is right there. Before I can reprimand Blaze, Razumi steps beside me, an enthusiastic smile on her face. Ace, you aren't supposed to make girls cry. Besides, she's new here. You need to play nice. I wasn't crying, actually, but... Blaze swiftly turns around on his seat, trying to ignore us, but Razumi takes it as a challenge. She grabs two nearly chairs and plops them down next to the man's desk before forcing me to occupy one. Hee hee. Now, let's have a nice conversation. Blaze crosses his arms and glares at us. I'm beginning to find myself concerned that we are overstepping our boundaries. Meanwhile, Razumi is beaming innocently. In a way, is actually really nice. Is what you call a tsundere. Stop giving me nicknames. You barely know me, and I'm sure as hell not nice. See, what he really means is the opposite. Give me more funny nicknames, since we're such good friends, please. The man visibly deflates, and I cannot help but laugh at the despicable. By the way, are you and your brother going to the ball? Blaze scratches his head for a moment, but then nods. Wow, the school is hosting a ball? I'm sure my eyes are sparkling from excitement. I've never attended such a fancy scouting event before. It seems like the night's classes have more fun than regular students. Anyone is welcome to come as long as they have a date. Oh, will you go with me then? Well, I already have someone in mind. Sorry, Divyana. Oh. Well, do you have any people you can ask instead? You do want to go, right? I shake my head, my cheeks starting to flush, and I try to deflect the question onto Razmi and Blaze. I'm thinking about forcing Jace to wear the dress. The expression is so dry, as his words so out of character, that I have to muster all my willpower to keep from laughing hysterically. I want to see that for real now. That would be priceless. So, who is the person on your mind, Razumi? Junoru. You. My thoughts about her are still the same. I haven't before a second, but then something tightens in my chest. Oh, that's great. Good for you. He. I was so lucky to be the first one to ask. Anyway, if neither you or nor Blaze have anyone to go, why not partner up? My partner and I awkwardly turn to each other. Dark aura surrounding him says it all. Maybe another girl would be better fit for him. I'd rather go alone than with anyone here. Did you hear that? He said he would love to have company. Don't twist my words, you demoniac woman. Oh, I know that's just your way of being affectionate. But can you please pick a cuter nickname for me? I'm. Hmm. Blaze sighs and rests his head on his arm. Although it does not seem like someone who would go to parties, it truly does sound like he wants to go to the ball. You're in the same depressing boat. Blaze, noticing my gloomy expression, mumbles at a volume I can barely hear. Whatever, tell me your address, and I'll be there at 7. Make sure you're ready by then. The unexpected words cheer me up. I beam at my date, but he only returns it with a glare. This is only for the sake of convenience. Don't overthink it. Once the break ends, we begin the lesson on physics. Although it is interesting, I have a difficult time following it along. Class finally ends just past 3 a.m. In the back of my mind, I'm worried about whether or not I'll be able to wake up in time for my regular school hours. I try to stay awake, but the yawn escapes me, as if reading my mind trying to reproach me. I will inform the administration for you, so it will be alright if you wish to skip class in the morning. Really? But I'm only a normal student. That is true, but I'm sure they will make an exception when I explain the situation. I let out a relieved sigh. Finally, Junoru and I start walking home together. What do you think about the elite class, Miss Ivana? Did you have fun? It was way more than fun than expected. The regular classes are nothing in comparison. I'm pleased to hear that. If you'd ever like to come again, I'd be happy to bring you. I'll definitely think about it. By the way, what are the requirements for officially joining the night class? There are no requirements in particular. The purpose of the class is simply to offer a more comfortable environment for those who might stick out otherwise, or who cannot make the time to go to school during the day. I, for example, would not feel comfortable around the day class students. I'm sure they would notice my injuries. Oh, it might be overdue, but I apologize for not speaking with you during the last break. That's my line. You were the one sitting all by yourself, and I wander off. Ron uncomfortably scratches at his scalp, slightly averting his gaze. I'm sure you noticed that people try to avoid me. I did. Why is that though? You're so nice. I feel like I should be honest with you. This I should be honest about this with you, Miss Viviana. The class believes I'm the son of a mafia boss. They stay away from me because they fear they'll be harassed or murdered. I don't think that's why they. That's a good joke. Unfortunately, it is not a joke. For what is worth it, they are all kind to me. Overly so, in fact. They are simply afraid for their lives. I don't want to tell them it isn't true. Well, in a way, it is true. The living dead tend to follow me, so it is almost as if I have my own gang. As a result, people spend non-neglectably quantities of time around tend to track them as well. Several of my classmates have become targets of those monsters as a result. I'm sorry to hear that. It must be lonely having to distance yourself from everyone like that. In the past, perhaps, but your presence has relieved that. Miss Viviana, I must admit, I regret involving you in this mess, however. Don't think there's anything you could make me want. There's anything that could make me want to stop being your friend. Have you met Junoru? He remains speechless, but with a spark in his eyes. We silently walked side by side for a while until Junoru speaks up. The school is hosting a ball tomorrow at midnight. Miss Viviana, would you be interested in going with me? You don't already have plans to go with someone else? I do not. I had not planned on going at all, but I overheard you talking about it earlier and changed my mind. I think you will enjoy it. Oh! He sure doesn't seem like he's lying, but that means Razumi never asked him. On the other hand, there might have been some sort of misunderstanding between them. I already said I'd go with Blaze, but I don't want to reject True either. Tell him the truth. Should I tell him the truth? Mm. I had a feeling. I agreed to his request. I'm so overcome with happiness that I cannot bring myself to reject the offer. In that case, I'd love to go with you. I do feel guilty about the Blaze thing, but he might not even show up. If if what Junoru said was true, there was no way he'd actually want to go to the ball with me. I will arrive at our house at around 7 p.m. Please do not leave without me. This time to end. What a great time to end! Ay ay. Ay ay, I didn't want a drama. I did not want a drama. So yeah, who is streaming? Shiro is streaming and he was here earlier. We can raid him. Oh, my number pad is not working, that's why. So that's the red message for who is sub, and that's the red message for who isn't sub, and we're raiding Shiro, who was here earlier. Yeah, thank you so much to everyone who joined me today. I really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time as today for a game that I don't know what I'm gonna play. Maybe an old game that I have to finish and didn't do like last time, or maybe Good Pizza, Great Pizza, or Frog game, or a game with Crow. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, thank you so much everyone joined today. I really appreciate it. See you all tomorrow at the same time. Bye bye.